It was Christmas Eve, and every corner of Sophie and Jack's village sparkled with holiday lights. Snow blanketed the ground, and each Christmas tree sparkled in dazzling colours, filling the air with a cosy warmth. Yet, just beyond the edge of the village, a dark and mysterious shadow moved quietly through the trees, watching the lights. It slinked silently, drifting closer and closer to the village, as if it had a secret mission of its own. Sophie, a curious 10-year-old with an adventurous spirit, was helping her little brother Jack decorate their Christmas tree. As they hung the last ornaments, she noticed something strange moving by the tree line. Without a second thought, they put on their coats and crept outside, careful not to be noticed. They were drawn to the mystery of this dark figure, unaware that their Christmas Eve was about to turn into an unforgettable adventure. As Sophie and Jack approached the shadow, it suddenly shifted, revealing a gentle glow. It was the Christmas tree keeper, a magical being who ensured that every tree in the village shone bright with the spirit of the season. The keeper's robe sparkled with tiny lights like stars, and his smile was warm and kind, yet something seemed to trouble him. He looked down at Sophie and Jack, hopeful that they might help him in his time of need. The keeper's face turned serious as he told Sophie and Jack about a strange problem. Each night, some of the village trees' lights had been dimming, and he feared something or someone was taking the magic from the trees. Without that glow, the village's Christmas spirit would fade. The keeper's eyes filled with worry as he explained that he needed brave hearts to help him discover the cause. Sophie and Jack, feeling honoured, promised to help him restore the village's light. The keeper thanked them and guided Sophie and Jack toward the path that led to the snowy mountains. He explained that the answers they sought lay beyond the village, where the trees stood tallest. As they set off, the keeper whispered words of protection, and the children felt a warmth as their footsteps began crunching over fresh snow. They entered the frosty forest, where tall trees covered in layers of frost seemed to whisper secrets. Sophie and Jack shivered, not just from the cold, but from the mystery that seemed to wrap around them. Each sound made them pause, but the keeper gently urged them on, reminding them that bravery was their greatest light. Soon they came upon a wide river, frozen and sparkling under the moonlight. The water beneath was still and silent, but crossing it seemed impossible until the keeper raised his hand, creating a bridge of glistening ice. Sophie and Jack gasped in amazement as they took their first careful steps across, each one feeling like a step deeper into a Christmas fairy tale. At last they reached the top of the snowy mountains, where a dark cave awaited them. The keeper explained that a shadow, once bright and full of joy, had grown jealous over the years as the village lights grew brighter, while it was left forgotten in darkness. Sophie and Jack felt a pang of sadness for the shadow, and understood that it was not just mischievous, but lonely too. Sophie suddenly had an idea. She suggested gifting the shadow a special light of its own, a magical snowflake that would never fade. The keeper nodded, smiling as he conjured a beautiful, radiant snowflake, glowing like the stars. He handed it to Sophie, who gently offered it to the shadow. The shadow, touched and overwhelmed by the gesture, began to glow. The shadow carefully held the snowflake, feeling its warmth and love. A soft, warm light began to spread across its form, brightening the cave and filling it with warmth. With joy sparkling in its eyes, the shadow promised to protect the village lights from now on, knowing it would always have a light of its own. As Sophie, Jack, and the keeper made their way back to the village, they were greeted with the brightest display of lights they had ever seen. Every tree shimmered, each light twinkling as if It knew the village's Christmas spirit had been saved. The keeper, grateful, thanked the children and promised that their bravery would be remembered. As a token of gratitude, the keeper handed Sophie and Jack a small enchanted ornament each, saying that these lights would always guide them back to the magic of Christmas. Sophie and Jack waved goodbye, watching the keeper vanish into the snowy woods as a gentle snow began to fall. That night, their village glowed brighter than ever, a sign of the magic they had all helped to save.